In 1776, fresh off the signing of the Declaration of Independence, the young United States faced its first great trial. After being forced out of Boston, Great Britain returned with a vengeance. A massive fleet of 400 ships, a forest of masts, darkened the horizon of New York Harbor, carrying over 32,000 professional British and Hessian troops. It was the largest expeditionary force of the 18th century. General George Washington, commanding a ragtag Continental Army of barely 10,000 men, knew he had to defend New York. He split his forces between Manhattan and the heights of Guam in Brooklyn. But Washington was outmatched and outmaneuvered. He expected a direct assault on his center, but British General William Howe had a different plan. On the night of August 26th, guided by local loyalists, 10,000 British troops performed a silent night march through the unguarded Jamaica Pass. They circled far to the east, swinging around the American rear while a diversionary force struck the front. At dawn on August 27th, the trap sprang shut. The Americans were caught in a pincer. Confusion turned to chaos as the Continental lines collapsed under a wave of British bayonets and Hessian artillery. In the desperate retreat toward the fortifications at Brooklyn Heights, the army was nearly destroyed. Only a legendary stand by the Maryland 400, who charged the British 6 times at the old stone house, bought Washington the precious minutes he needed to pull his broken units back. By evening, Washington's army was pinned against the East River, with the British digging siege trenches in front and the Royal Navy commanding the waters behind. Surrender seemed inevitable. But then, the weather intervened. A drenching rain halted the British advance, followed by a thick, miraculous fog that settled over the river. Under the cover of this mist, Washington orchestrated one of the greatest vanishing acts in military history. Throughout the night of August 29th, Massachusetts fishermen and sailors muffled their oars, rowing 9,000 soldiers, horses, and cannons across the mile-wide river to Manhattan. They worked in total silence, just yards away from the British lines. When the fog lifted the next morning, the British were stunned to find the American trenches empty. Washington was the last man to step into the final boat. The Battle of Long Island was a crushing tactical defeat. But by saving his army from total capture, Washington saved the revolution itself. The war would continue, and the fight for independence had only just begun.